Namaste, my dear friends. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to people from all over the world, either joining us live on this Zoom webinar or watching this video from around the globe. So we are in the last session of this webinar series on NEURODHARMA. What is NEURODHARMA? Today we're going to look at another angle to it. NEURODHARMA is looking at the truths of life, looking at the truths of living a holistic, happy life through the lens of the truth of the mind, truth of the brain and the nervous system. So neuro represents the neurology, the neuroscience behind us, the nervous system and the brain, while dharma represents the essential truths of life. We've been through a journey. Some of you who have been following this journey, thank you very much for being here and being on every session. Really appreciate it. And I appreciate your interest. And a lot of folks are also seeing the videos subsequent to the live session as well. So we've been through 6 keys of happiness, 6 keys to happiness. And how do you do it through meditation? We've been practicing, looking at the theory, and we've been doing a set of practices specific to that particular key. Today, we're going to combine all that and do a longer meditation. All right, so we first saw, how many of you remember? What is the first key? Maybe you should type it on the chat window if you are aware. What is the first key that we learned? Anybody? Steadiness, wonderful. So steadiness, what is steadiness? Steadiness is about focus. Steadiness is about focus. It's about groundedness, being grounded, not floating with thoughts like a balloon, right? We saw that picture in that first session. It's about being grounded, being grounded to the earth. So we practiced feeling the earth beneath our legs. Right? That's steadiness. What is the second key? Second key is, yes, loving kindness or warm-heartedness. We all get into that blank, equanimous, tranquil state post-meditation. But if that meditation is lacking that warmth of connection, of connecting to people, then it becomes kind of empty tranquility, right? It's as if you're not moved by suffering, you're not moved by things, moved by other people. So the second key to a better meditation practice and a mindful life is be having that warm-heartedness or loving kindness to every situation and every person. And the third and fourth key we saw on one session. Third key is fullness. Yes. So fullness is contentment. Absolutely correct. Fullness is contentment. And contentment is, we saw the different types of craving, what causes suffering. Craving causes suffering, the different types of craving and why craving happens. And how to get rid of it is through peace, contentment, and love, a practice of peace in the body, contentment or gratitude, right? And love or loving kindness, again, adding the previous system. And the fourth key was nowness. Someone typed in here. The fourth key is nowness, is about being in the present moment. That's what we do with meditation. We also practice that. It's about being in the front edge of every moment. I talked about the 5 things that happen every moment. If you are able to be in the first 3, then you don't give rise to suffering by going through the thoughts and formations, right? So that is what is nowness, being in the front edge of now. And the fifth key, what is the fifth key we learned? Fifth key, wholeness was already covered. We spoke about it. After nowness, allness. All right, so it's about the connected nature of things. It's about not being separate. Yes, allness, that's right. It's not being separate. It's about you being part of the interdependence nature. We saw how self is not a permanent construct, because it's all our thoughts, all our formations, all our emotions, our body, everything has a cause. It's interdependent. It's dependent on something else. So that's where you get that allness part of it, right? And the last session we saw the sixth key. What was the sixth key? Someone has already typed it. Or someone has gone ahead and talked about timelessness as well. So the sixth key was wholeness. Yes, being in wholeness, right? What is wholeness? Every time our mind wants to do something, other part of the mind wants to do something. That means you're existing in separatedness. Your mind is fragmented. How do you become whole? Is what is the practice of wholeness. And this whole program is about how do you continue to be in wholeness, right? And then we practice something called whole body breathing. Wholeness is nothing but combining your body with your mind. Mind rooted in body, body going along with the mind, because body, the key function that keeps running the body is also the mind, right? So it's about the mind creating the brain creating the mind. This whole cycle keeps happening. And throughout these six keys, what we learned is we saw the neuroscience behind each of them. What are the brain networks that get activated? What are the brain networks that get regulated? If you do the practices, we saw small practices to be in that particular key, right? And you can do that anytime. So today, we're going to conclude by looking at something called what I call as the wholeness formula. What is the wholeness formula? This is the wholeness formula. I'm revealing the wholeness formula to you, right? So this isn't in any book. So this comes out of experience. This comes out of wisdom from multiple books and practice. So what is wholeness? Being in wholeness mean? We saw wholeness a bit last session. Wholeness is equal to awareness minus noise plus wisdom, whole multiplied by awareness. We will look at each of these components and why it's essential. And when you practice, when you're always in that state of wholeness, you can be in that state of wholeness by looking at what each of these are. What is the noise that you need to eliminate? So there is a first level of awareness. Then you eliminate noise from that awareness. You are aware of being fragmented. You are aware of carrying that envy. You are aware of not being in the moment. You're aware of mind wandering, right? So from that awareness, you reduce the noise, the mind wandering, the envy, the jealousy, the fragmentation. It results in an awareness, and you add wisdom to it in terms of insights multiplied by what we call as meta awareness. We'll look at each of those parts right now. So first element of awareness, we all know awareness is the field in which all experience happens. You are aware of the thoughts, you are aware of the emotions, you are aware of sensations, right? When we are doing the whole body breathing or body scan, we are aware of the sensations in our body. When we are doing our meditations, we are aware of the thoughts, we are aware of the mind wandering. What do we say? Observe your breath. The moment your mind wanders, recognize it. You are aware of the mind wandering and you bring your attention back to it, right? Awareness is basic. And then awareness can happen even when you are, for example, your mind might be wandering throughout the 15 minutes of a 60-minute meditation or 50-minute meditation, but you're aware of, right? You don't get lost, you don't get sleepy. So understanding the awareness is your breath meditation is awareness becoming conscious of itself. So basically you're mindful of whatever is happening. That is the first level of awareness. And then what is a noise that we're talking about in the formula? Noise is everything that obscures awareness. Awareness minus noise. What are the noise? What are the noise that we've heard over the last few sessions? We saw the 5 hindrances last session, right? Grasping or craving or wanting something, aversion, not wanting something, dislike, restlessness and worry and anxiety, dullness or sleepiness and thought for, and doubt, right? So these are the 5 hindrances that Buddha talks about. which are very much noise during meditation as well as during our daily life. We strive to remove that noise. Then, as one step of getting to wholeness is striving to remove that noise through the several practices we practiced the last few sessions. Craving for something that is good, craving for not wanting to be in those bad situations, right? The sense of not enough. And we saw how craving arises because of those three needs that are not met, right? One is connection, the other one is safety, and the other one is social connection, I believe. So safety, connection, and satisfaction. Yes, safety, satisfaction, and connection. If any of these three needs are not met, then it gives rise to craving, which in turn leads to suffering. Right? Then fragmentation. We saw that during fullness, and one of the keys, internal division, self of separation. Right? You are at your desk, or you are helping your kid do her homework, or his homework, but at the same time you're thinking about something else. There's also an element of not being here, but also you're thinking about something else. So that is fragmentation. Wanting to do something, but you're forced to do something else. And you resent that. You're not in the present moment. So fragmentation is a combination of not being in the present moment, as well as feeling divided, wanting to be somewhere else while you are somewhere. And then time travel, mental wandering away from now. We saw that, right? Not being in the present moment, always thinking about the past or thinking about the future. So we saw timelessness somewhere, one of you mentioned, right? When all the 6 keys are practiced, then we get into a zone where you don't feel time is a factor, or time is a barrier to happiness, right? Time is what gives the reference of past and present. As you know, a lot of spiritual texts talk about there's nothing like as time is more psychological, because the scriptures talk about how time being in parallel. A lot of things happen at the same moment, right? But psychologically, we have this concept of time. And to be in present moment, we have to remove that element of time. That is timelessness. And again, that happens through the 6 keys practice, right? Each of the keys reduce specific noise. Steadiness reduces instability. As I said, you're not going all over the place like a balloon, right? Warmth reduces isolation. Fullness reduces craving. Wholeness reduces internal division, while nowness reduces mental time travel. That's what we saw. So these are the things that we need to get rid of the noise, right? And then we add wisdom to it. How do we add wisdom? Wisdom is nothing but insights. Insights can happen through deep meditation when you are in that silent zone, or insights could happen through someone telling you something, or insights could happen through wisdom from the books or somebody else's experiences. But to understand the wisdom from someone speaking, get that insight from somebody speaking, we need to be in that state of receiving it. For example, intuition happens all the time. Our heart is the center for what they call heart is the window of the soul, right? The heart tells you, the feelings tell you whether something is right or wrong. First thing, you have to catch the feeling when you're deciding something. There is a certain process we talk about in mindfulness. So there is something called valence. First, is that pleasant or unpleasant? And then what state you are in. Then you listen. You listen to your body. Your body speaks that intuition, right? Once you listen to it, then it's up to you to whether act or not. That is how intuition helps. And the soul speaks to you through intuitions and insights. And when are you able to catch those intuition and insights? It is when our mind is silent. Only then we're able to catch it, right? So here are some insights that we've learned. Impermanence, everything is impermanent. So hanging on to anything, assuming that is permanent, causes suffering. That is again Buddha's big discovery, right? And then through the breath, we find how everything arises and passes. Each breath tells us the truth. And nothing exists separately, everything as a cause. right? So it is everything, all phenomena are interdependent. And then you don't have a solid self. Self is a process, it's consciousness. There's nothing like a self, nothing like a thing, right? So that consciousness contains your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your sanskaras, your vasanas, right? And that is what that energy continues over lifetimes till we exhaust the karmic patterns in that particular energy field, right? So wisdom is added to clarified awareness because understanding transforms experience. A lot of times, meditation may not have done the trick. Silence may not have done the trick, but just one quotation, one word, one guidance or something that someone told you will flip a switch in your mind and you'll all be clear, all confusion cleared. So that is insight. Insight can come from inside or outside, right? But you'll know that that's an insight because of you being at a higher level of awareness. And then now we are multiplying this with another awareness. Why is it? Because meta awareness transforms everything. So till now we saw awareness minus noise plus wisdom. Now, when you elevate your awareness even further, when you're aware that you're aware of breathing, when you're aware that you are aware of the thoughts and feelings, right? That is meta awareness. It allows you to hold everything more lightly. It doesn't allow you to cling. Because you're seeing, like last session, I gave you the analogy of going to a theater and watching a movie. If you get subsumed in the movie, right, then you see people crying, people skipping a heartbeat because of things happening in the movie. But when you take a holistic picture, you're aware of the theater and then you know you're watching the movie, right? Then you don't get caught in the suffering, get caught into the ups and downs of the movie. And life is like that movie. You don't get caught up. There's nothing that we need to take seriously. Seriously in the sense, nothing that needs to be taken seriously to cause us pain, right? Anything that we give importance to causes us pain, causes us suffering, because we are not letting it go. Right? Having said that, it is not that you have to take everything lightly. Life needs certain things, certain disciplines, certain things that needs to be taken with certain set of practices and tools. So in our meditation practice, when we are aware, the first thing we are aware of our breathing, but at some deeper state, when you are aware that we are aware of the breathing, the consciousness of the mind being aware of the breathing, that is this multiplication factor that we are talking about. That's called meta awareness. You can observe your mind being aware of your breathing. That's the higher stages, that's the deeper stages of meditation. I'm sure a lot of you who've been practicing meditation would have felt that. So that is the multiplication factor. So the complete formula in action, right? You start with awareness, the foundational field of consciousness. Then you remove the noise like instability, isolation, craving, division, and fragmentation, and mental mind wandering. Then you add the wisdom of impermanence, interdependence, and understanding the self. You multiply it by your consciousness of being aware, and the result is wholeness. And again, wholeness is not something that we need to get to. Wholeness is something we already are. The moment we remove the noise, we start discovering the wholeness inside us. The moment we remove the clutter, remove the distractions, then we understand the wisdom is already within us. That is the state of wholeness. So, and then this is a summation of the neuroscience that we've been learning over the last several sessions, right? Why is reduction of noise important, and what does it feel in the brain? So we talked about the default mode network activity. That is the one that keeps on ruminating, keeps on bickering, keeps on complaining, keeps on judging things. The back part, the top back part of your head, right? So default mode network activity gets silenced, it reduces, right? then your amygdala, the emotional center of your brain, amygdala gets quieter. The moment your amygdala quiets, then you don't get into that reaction mode. You don't get into that resentment. You don't get into that craving. All that reduces. And there's a lot of self-referential processing, right? Your ego starts dying down, right? You are a lot more caring about others than you think about yourself. Of course, there's also the self-love that we talk about, right? And so you're able to see this. And similarly, wisdom. What does wisdom happen when you read books, when you listen to all the wisdom? Increased prefrontal cortex integration. That's the executive function of your brain, right? Enhanced perspective taking ability. What is enhanced perspective taking ability? It allows you to consider options. As we learned, if somebody is shouting at in a particular situation, you understand why he is shouting from his perspective. And given a problem, you will think about multiple options and multiple perspective rather than just going in for whatever has been pre-programmed in our mind, right? And greater cognitive flexibility. That's the flexibility. We are open to more options. We're open to considering things that are not things that are different from what is hardwired in our brains. And then enhanced awareness increases in heightened metacognitive capacity, increased anterior cingulate cortex activity, integration between attention awareness networks, and activation of insula, your awareness center, your bodily awareness center. So that's very important. And wholeness means awareness of the body and mind. When I say body, it's my brain, thoughts, feelings, sensations, and your mind or brain, right? So it is not just one of it. A brain that operates from integration. This is when the left brain and the right brain gets integrated, when you are in wholeness. And we saw that is when the lateral networks of being, you are in the state of being rather than doing. We start doing versus being, right? And you are in that state of integration, wholeness rather than fragmentation, from connection rather than separation, and from wisdom rather than reactivity. That is how you act every moment. Let me just run this. So how do we do that in breath meditation? So we will go through this. We will go through during the practice. So I'll skip that. So how does wholeness transform our everyday? Right? The formula is not just about meditation. When during meditation, we go through all those steps and practices as we will practice. But this formula, it's for life. It's for us to live our everyday life. For example, when you wake up in awareness, not lost in thought, you notice your mind is already making plans for what I need to do today. Start worrying, oh my God, this is Monday. Oh my God, something else needs to happen. That's when you apply steadiness. You start from fullness, right? Not separatedness and not lack, right? So you are content. You start with a sense of contentment. And suddenly you are on your way to work. Suddenly you see traffic on the road. You feel the frustration. You recognize it as noise. And then you add wisdom. Oh, this is impermanent. This is temporary. I know after a while, the traffic will go away, or it's just for only one day. Yesterday was fine. Day before yesterday was fine, but last couple of days has been traffic. So you add that sense of impermanence, that insight or wisdom of impermanence, the frustration will pass. Then you stay aware of awareness. Oh my God, I am so aware of applying steadiness, fullness, and allness here, right? And then you go to work, and then there is a difficult situation that emerges. Instead of fragmenting, oh my God, why me? What will my boss think? Right? What will my colleagues think? You start, instead of fragmenting, you feel a sense of wholeness. That's when you use the whole body meditation practice. And instead of defending from isolation, you connect to the other person, you connect to the people around you and start solving the problems. You respond from noiseless awareness with insight, amplified by meta awareness. And evening, when you do your breath meditation practice, you recognize, you pat your back that you've been practicing wholeness all day. This is how wholeness, the 6 keys that we learned, gets applied in our everyday life. So how does wholeness help in our different life domains, right? Relationships. When you're operating from awareness minus noise, there is less reactivity. If my daughter comes back and starts complaining or does not do what I ask her to do at a particular time, I don't react and shout, right? So because I'm operating from awareness, I know I also have that wisdom. Any amount of shouting at our kids doesn't work out of experience, right? So you don't react much. You give him a genuine response, or you act with a sense of softness, right? Adding wisdom means seeing others suffering. Why are other people suffering? What is the issue? It could be at work, could be at anywhere. Then staying conscious, being aware even in conflict, responding instead of reacting. So that's how relationships stick. That's how relationships operate at a higher level of awareness. Similarly, work. We just saw that scenario, right? Steadiness brings focus, concentration. Fullness releases desperation. You don't crave for that promotion. You don't crave for things to be perfect. You know things are that way because there are so many people involved in a particular project, right? And you give a longer road to situations, right? Wholeness allows complex problem solving. You look at the picture, you look at a higher level picture, you look at the whole picture and try to solve problem using cognitive flexibility. Numbness creates flow states. When you are in the present moment without thinking about the past and future, you get into flow. You see a lot of cricketers in flow, a lot of sportsmen in flow, a lot of performers in flow. Very similar can happen. You might be working on the computer, you might be speaking to someone, you might be cooking, you might be cleaning, but when you are in the present moment, you are in a state of flow. And allness enables collaboration. We don't say, oh, I am the greatest. It's my way. We don't say it's my way or the highway, right? So that it increases collaboration among team members because we understand all of us are the same, all are part of the same consciousness. We all need to contribute to that particular project. Similarly, parenting, just like the example I mentioned. So you provide warmth and loving kindness without judgment. Oh, I am showing my love to you because you need to do something else for me. It's unconditional, right? You start showing unconditional love, unconditional warmth, presence in parenting, being with your child, being with your parent, or it be, right? Completely. When someone speaks, being with that conversation completely, without any distraction. It will move you, right? When you are in presence during those conversations, you will be spontaneous, you will feel that energy within you. Wholeness that includes your own needs. One of the things that we talked about was also a self-love, self-compassion. Wholeness is not just somebody else, it's also yourself, right? And wisdom that sees development as a process. Parenting, kids grow, right? And we don't expect them to be the same person when they were at 5 years old, the same to be at when they are 12 or when they are 17. They change. We see the development as a process. We are open to that. And similarly, health improves when we are in wholeness because of mind-body integration. Stress reduction at the neurological level because our default mode level networks, our doing networks, our task networks, we are giving it a break. Immune system improves through vagal tone activation, right? And then pain management through awareness. The moment you are aware of something, deeply aware, and don't start fighting the pain, then you start feeling, you'll start suffering less from the pain. That's another common practice we practice in meditation as well. And creativity, as we said, the lateral networks, the being networks, the wholeness networks operate. These are the same networks that enable insight and innovation. Creative breakthrough, spontaneity happens when noise decreases. Right? So now you're seeing how the six different keys are helping us be whole in relationships, at work, in parenting, our health, and as well as with creativity or productivity. Right? So what is the plan going forward? Right now we learned the complete NEURODHARMA framework. We saw how it is backed by science, backed by neuroscience, experientially validated path to integrated well-being. So every conversation, it's a practice to feel that connectedness, feel the allness. Every challenge, you apply this formula, right? I am aware of the challenge. Let me see what is the noise that it's causing me. How do I remove that noise? How do I apply wisdom? of impermanence, interdependence, and non-self to that particular challenge. Could be a health challenge, could be a relationship challenge, could be a work challenge, right? And then you are in the present moment, recognizing wholeness, and then you are practicing this every moment and every breath. The formula, every breath also teaches you that same formula. Awareness minus distractions, wisdom of impermanent, wisdom of things rising and passing, right? And then adding the meta awareness to it. So whatever we practice in our breath meditation is what we practice in our everyday life as well. So a few months from now, as you continue practicing wholeness, as you continue practicing breath meditation with this new perspective, with this new framework in mind, right? You will wake up, and instead of immediately fragmenting, you are into awareness itself. Difficult conversations, you know what to do. We just saw that. Instead of defending or collapsing or feeling bad about a person remarking at your presentation, you respond from wholeness, you respond from allness, you respond from fullness. Anytime you're facing a setback, instead of time travel, because, oh my God, this has been happening again and again. What is the reason, right? I was hoping that things will go right, but things have gone bad. What did I do wrong? And we start blaming ourselves. So getting out of all that, right? And all this also enhances your meditation practice. It's not something you do to fix yourself anymore. It's wholeness expressing itself, knowing itself, and celebrating itself, right? So finally, my dear friends, so as you know, some of you might have heard this, but we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are wholeness. We are not a separate self trying to experience wholeness. We are wholeness itself. Temporary, we are temporary believing we are separate. All that suffering is temporary. The moment you remove the noise from us, then we are open into that wholeness, the awareness that we are, and also the wisdom that we already have. You don't need to acquire wholeness. You don't need to acquire wisdom. All you need to do is reduce that noise that's hiding our awareness and wisdom. That is, in essence, the framework of NeuroDharma and what it teaches us. And Dr. Rick Hansen has written several books talking about those. You can go through those books and practice. And we've been practicing. Just once you understand this topic and we've been practicing, that's also be good enough, right? So in wholeness, we are stable. Our craving reduces. You'll see that as weeks progress, as you continue to practice. Our mind wandering reduces. We feel a sense of connection to nature, connection to one another, deeper connection to people in your family, to your friends, or even to nature, right? And to your pets. And all our internal division stops. And we are out of this illusion of separation. We feel whole. We feel satisfied. We feel content, right? The formula gives you the exact barriers to remove these, and what remains is what you are, or what we all of us are, which is wholeness. All right, my dear friends, that's the essence of wholeness. And that's the essence what the NeuroDharma framework talks about. When we are in wholeness, then time is not a factor. That's what is timelessness. You're able to manifest things much faster. Your desires translate into, even before you crave for something, the moment you have a thought, you'll start getting things that address what you need. Your needs are met by the consciousness itself. You don't need to put in an effort. You don't need to do. Just be, and then you start getting things for you to feel happy. Right? Abundance happens at that higher level of consciousness. Great health happens at that higher level of awareness. And you're able to connect. You're able to see things other people are not seeing at that higher level of awareness. Right? That is why the multiplicative factor of awareness is there. So in a sense, my dear friends, the wholeness formula is awareness minus noise, plus wisdom, insights, multiplied by awareness, which is your meta-awareness, right? It's just something that you need to remember so that you can practice that in every situation. We talked about several situations in this presentation on how you can apply these. right? This is nothing but your meditation practice coming alive in your everyday life. That's what it is. All right. So we will now dive into a longer 20 or 25-minute practice where we will go through each of the keys and practice in our body and your mind. All right. So with that, let's dive into, I will guide you through the instructions without music, and then we will take up the questions. All right. So become comfortable. Clasp your fingers, cross your feet at your ankle, sit in a comfortable position. Keep your back, neck, and head straight but relaxed. Take 3 deep breaths to become conscious of your breathing. Become aware of your breathing. Take a moment to appreciate and feel grateful for your presence in all the sessions so far. Bring your attention to your breathing while you close your eyes. Stabilize your attention. You can take a point either at your nose or at your belly or your stomach and observe the sensations or the movements due to your every breath. Settle into a rhythm of your breathing. Do not alter your breathing. Just be aware of your each and every breath. The way you are aware is to feel. Feel the sensations of your breath at your nose or your chest region or your stomach region. Tell your mind for the next 20 minutes, nothing else will happen. Tell your mind, I'm okay to sit for the next 20 minutes. Tell your mind not to disturb you for the next 20 minutes. If your mind wanders, gently return to the point of focus. Feel the ground under your feet. Feel the pressure of your sitting on the chair or on your pillow or on your cushion. Feel grounded. Feel the location you are in, the room you are in. Become aware of your sitting posture overall. Steadiness keeps you grounded. Continue to be aware of your breath. Feel your mind becoming more focused, more present. Do not allow your mind to wander. Just your awareness of your breath and your body. Remove the noise of mind wandering by recognizing it and returning your attention to your breath. Now, slowly move your awareness to your heart region and start breathing from your heart region. Bring to mind someone you care about or someone who deeply cares about you, takes care of you. Feel the warmth, feel the loving kindness. Recall feeling cared about. Let that compassion, kindness, and love fill your heart. Feel a gentle smile as you feel the loving kindness. This practice improves our connection to individuals, to the world, and the life around us. We become more empathetic to situations and things. Continue your normal, natural breathing rhythm while you focus on your heart region. Feel the loving kindness. Feel the warmth in your heart center. Avoid mind wandering. Be in the now. Feel your every breath. Feel your heart region. Feel the tingling sensation due to the warm feelings of love and care. Feel the connection. Now, Expand your awareness to your whole body and feel the peace, feel the stillness in your body. Feel the state of relaxation. Feel a sense of peace. Now, bring a memory of a person, place, thing, or situation that you felt grateful for, you want to feel grateful for. Bring that person, thing, place, or situation in your mind and express gratitude from your heart center to that person, place, thing, or situation. Feel the emotion of gratitude, contentment. As we learned, this is an attribute of fullness. You feel full only when you are content. Feel the love from your heart pouring out to the person, place, or thing or situation that you're feeling grateful for. Rest in this fullness for a couple of more minutes. Continue to breathe in and out through your heart center. Feel the warmness, joy, peace, contentment in your body. Now, feel the sensations. Feel the parts of your left side of your chest region as you breathe in and breathe out, and slowly become aware of the right side of your chest region as well. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel your tummy or stomach region. Feel the front part of your body. Continue to breathe in and breathe out. Feel the back of your body. Feel your arms, neck, and head. Feel your legs, knees, arms, ankle, and feet. Observe any sensations due to breathing in any part of the body. Feel your whole body breathing. So breathe in and breathe out. Feel the energy currents passing through your whole body. You don't alter your breathing. Just stay with your normal, natural, regular breathing pattern. Feel the wholeness across your body, your breath, and your mind. Feel the tingling Feel the energy currents, the sensations due to the energy currents passing through your body. Many sensations, one unified field of experience. Become aware of the sounds, the sensations coming from things outside your body as well. Include everything as one whole. No parts divided from other parts, just wholeness. And you're breathing with your whole body, being aware of everything around. As you continue to feel the wholeness of your body, mind, and breath, now feel every breath. You don't worry about the past breath or the future breath. Completely feel the breath in the moment. Feel the start of your inhale, end of your inhale, start of your exhale, and end of your exhale. Observe every breath. Every breath is different. The length of your inhales and exhale is different. Whether you inhale through your left nostril or right nostril keeps changing. And breath rises and falls, rises and falls. It teaches us impermanence. No two breaths are the same. That is wisdom. When you are with the breath, you are in the present moment. You are in the now. Let go of the past. Let go of the future. Just the breath that is happening right now is what you should be aware of. Continue to be with your whole body, breathing, and being in the present moment. Being in the front edge of now means pure observation without reaction or response. The response happens in a subsequent moment, subsequent now. As you breathe, every breath, you're moving from one now to the next now, to the next now, to the next now. Enjoy the experience of the sensations of breathing. Enjoy the state of your mind. Feel your body becoming lighter. Feel your mind becoming calmer. Now, feel the space within you. Feel the space around you. Feel the lightness inside you. Feel the boundaries between your body and outside completely disappearing. You are part of the one consciousness, one field of energy. You are part of all, and allness is part of you. We are all connected to life, to things, to one another, through energy, consciousness, and wisdom. You are not separate from the world. You are the world experiencing itself. Feel becoming one with the space around you. Feel your awareness merged with the awareness of the room you are in. Feel the sense of allness, the spacious awe. With that lightness in your body, with the wholeness of your breathing, the contentment and gratitude, feel all of it once, the completeness of it all. Clear awareness, steady and open as you continue to be with your breath. Reduced noise, less reactivity, less craving. Feel the deepening wisdom, seeing clearly the nature of things, all amplified by awareness. You are resting in wholeness, noiseless awareness combined with insight, multiplied by meta-awareness. Last 2 minutes, enjoy the wholeness, the lightness, the emptiness as you breathe in and breathe out. This is your natural state. Wonderful, my dear friends. Take a deep breath. Slowly become aware of the solidity of your body, the way you're sitting on the chair or a cushion. Bring your awareness to the room you are in. Feel your fingers, feel your arms, feel your legs. Slowly unclasp your fingers and place your palms on your eyes for a few seconds. And you can open your eyes when you're ready. Wonderful, my dear friends. I hope you're able to feel the different keys, different steps to wholeness I hope some of you are able to feel that contented, full, whole being. Even if you have practiced a few of the keys, your brain is already changing. And as we learned in one of the sessions, the more you are with that particular feeling, the more that particular part of the brain keeps changing, for the better or for the worse. For the worse causes stress. When you're doing better things, that makes you move from doing to being, move from red zone to green zone. Then you're a lot more with your inner nature, you're a lot more with your wholeness, with your consciousness. All right. So with that, thank you very much for being with this series. I hope it was useful. I hope the wisdom and practices were easy and you were able to follow these. Thank you very much for being on this series and participating in each of these sessions.